this is the point that Mark was making. What we've got here is we've got 7.35 to 7.45 is the normal blood pH range. That's healthy blood cells. Now, Dr. Young has done some amazing research, pictures are in this book, of blood cells of people whose diets are highly acidic versus those that are more balanced. And the blood cells look physically different. The sensible alkaline diet, the blood cells are discrete, they're round, they're perfectly formed. The acidic diet, the blood cells are all merged in and messy and ill-defined. And literally at the cellular level, people are unhealthy. Now, if you have an acid constitution, if your blood pH level is less than 7.365, in other words, it's in the acid range, you are liable to put on fat. Now, as Mark said, we don't all do that. We all have slightly different constitutions, but in a way, your fat is saving your life. So if you're overweight, be grateful. And maybe that will just begin to change the mindset about this thing. It is not your biggest enemy. In many ways, it may have been keeping you healthy and keeping you alive, or keeping you from some worse ills than you have already experienced. So be grateful for your fat, and maybe you can begin to think, right, I don't want to be fat forever. What do I need to do in order to lose the fat? Well, let's get to the root causes. Let's not deal with the symptoms, as Mark was saying. We don't want to deal with the symptoms. We want to get to the root causes so you never get fat again. And this is what we'll be working on using the pH principle to alkalize. So you need to drink alkaline water, as I've just been mentioning, and you need to eat more alkaline foods. Now you can find some information on drinking alkaline water at www.advitality.info. That's a product site that I have, which actually has the prime pH and a number of other things on there. You can also find quite a lot of useful information. This is a product site from Dr. Robert O. Young. So you can find all of the background to this material in there. It's well worth a look. Now, you can see there that what we really need to be doing is operating in that normal blood range. If our blood pH level is less than 7, we die. It's that simple. So we're putting on weight, we're accumulating weight in order to stop ourselves moving down to 0.7 to that 7.0 level. So why go there? You can avoid it. So if you don't want to stay fat, first, be grateful to your fat for saving your life. And second, take some simple steps now to begin to alkalize. Begin to alkalize. And my advice is take it slowly. We all want the results now. We live in a quickie society. We live in a have it now society. If you want it for life, be prepared for it to take 6 months, say. Yeah, you can have 25 pounds in 25 days, but if you want it for life, keep going, get your 50 pounds in 6 months and keep it off forever. If you go at this like a bull in a china shop, you'll get some quick results, but you could end up back where you started. Take it slow and simple, and I can show you how to take it slow and simple, and that's what I'm going to do just now. So, what you need to eat less of and drink less of is on the left-hand side there. I'd like you to drink and eat less red meat, drink less alcohol, eat less eggs, less sugar, less cheese, and less dairy. Now, I'm not saying that you've got to eliminate these from your diet. One of the reasons why diets fail is that people end up on starvation rations or on such a limited repertoire of foods and drinks that basically life ceases to be interesting. We eat probably a range from that left-hand side. Let me, sweetheart. So we will actually eat, a very occasionally we'll have some red meat. Now I actually said on the train coming down, we're not going to eat red meat anymore. We decided we're not going to do it. We'll eat a bit of chicken, maybe, but that's about it. But meat, it's a dead substance. The animal has died. You know, eating dead animal protein and ingesting dead animal protein, it's a dead substance into your body. It is not going to introduce energy and vitality into your body.
Be vegetarian, though.
You don't have to be vegetarian.
No,
what if you are a vegetarian? Right, so you...
Take that out, right,
yeah.
my staple diet.
Fish. You can eat fish, that's no problem. Fish is actually mildly acidic, but not nearly so. Yeah, so you won't eat fish. So what you need to do is, have a look in there.
Right.
There are 100 recipes in there
Right.
for vegetarians. They're all vegetarian. Now we've got in our AV Diet Recipe Planner, which is another of the bonuses on this, this programme, Lynn has drafted 7 breakfasts, 7 lunches, 7 dinners and 7 desserts. Not all of them are vegetarian. Most of them are getting that way. Most of them are vegetarian. But there are some specific ideas for things that you can eat in there. But within that book, you've got 100 additional vegetarian recipes. And that will enable you to be completely healthy. Is anybody else a vegetarian in the room? Okay. Well, that's a good start. But you realise that actually being vegetarian isn't just going to do it. You know, being vegetarian can actually be as unhealthy as eating meat. So it's not all just about the meat. It's about some of those other things down the left-hand side. Now, I'm not advocating that you become teetotal. We all like a drink. We all get into situations occasionally where it's nice, sociable to have a drink. The thing about this approach is that you can still eat, you can still enjoy, you can still drink the things that you like drinking, but you won't want to drink that will eat them as much. Your taste buds will literally change. As you go through this approach, you will want these things less and less, so it becomes naturally balancing. And that's very powerful. So instead of having to force yourself to do these things, it reaches what we call a tipping point. And the tipping point is when somebody offers you something, you say, no, actually I don't feel like that at the moment, thank you, I'm going to have something else. And that's from your healthy options choices, which I'll tell you about in a second. Eggs, occasionally, yeah, we'll have eggs at home, but we don't eat a lot of eggs. A lot of cholesterol in eggs, a lot of fat, they're highly acidic. And cheese and dairy, personally, I've shifted to soy milk. Cows don't drink cow's milk. It's 30% mucus. So I really don't get it. I would much rather drink something like soy milk, which is 40% protein and mostly water, than put something which is 30% mucus on my cereals in the morning.
Does goat's cheese come under?
Goat's cheese is pretty good, actually. It's one of the better dairy products. So if you're on goat's milk, or if you want to eat cheese at all, goat's cheese is much better than cow's cheese, but I still I wouldn't suggest overindulgence, just a small amount.
How about red wine? There's so much fun.
Red wine? Okay. My view on red wine. We have a bottle of red wine open at the moment, don't we, sweetheart? We probably have a glass every other night. The jury's out on red wine. The pros of red wine are that it thins the blood and can be good for the heart. The cons of red wine are that it contains yeast, it's acidic, it kills your brain cells. Alcohol kills brain cells. Now, I don't know about you, but I need all the brain cells I've got. So given the choice, I'm going to limit it. So, you know, the occasional glass of red wine is going to be fine, but I certainly wouldn't advocate, you know, half a bottle a night. So, you know, red wine in moderation is probably one of the better alcoholic drinks you can drink, along with maybe cider. But I would really limit your alcohol. And the beauty of this approach, you are not going to want 3 pints of beer after you've been hydrating for 10 days. You are physically not going to want it. You're going to say, no, I don't fancy that. And then you'll thank me, you'll say, wow, I did it myself. I didn't do it because somebody was standing over me, I did it because I wanted to. You become self-regulating. Any other questions on the left-hand side there? Yes, sir.
As I told you, you are totally vegetarian.
So you're totally vegetarian?
Acid side, you don't eat meat, no alcohol.
No meat, no alcohol, no eggs,
no fish.
no fish.
And you take artificial sugars.
Right, you take artificial sugars.
From cheese and dairy, we don't have cheese or stuff like that. We
Right.
eat meat.
Okay.
On alkaline side, we don't take that much oil.
You don't eat that much oil?
And still we put on weight.
Right. There are some specific reasons for that. You mentioned artificial sweeteners.
Yes.
Right. Artificial sweeteners are more toxic than sugar. We want to reduce toxicity, and I'm going to talk to you about toxicity as a follow-on step.